And good afternoon, GRN listeners across the South and Central Texas listening area. This is your local program. This is In His Vineyard. I'm Gordy Zambrano, General Manager for the Guadalupe Radio Network South and Central Texas listening area. As you know, you can hear this program every Monday at noon right here on your local GRN station, online at grnonline.com, or of course on the free Guadalupe Radio Network app. We'd like to ask each and every one of you to join us on Facebook. Our page is located at GRN South and Central TX. Hit that like button, follow us. You can follow us on everything that's going on in the South and Central Texas listening area. And as I do every week, I thank everybody for your listenership out there, especially from Marble Falls, Fredericksburg, Kerrville, where I was just at this weekend. I'll tell you all about that. Uvalde, where I was at last Friday. And, of course, right here in San Antonio, where our beautiful office is located and studio. We're coming to you live here. And we're excited that you joined us in getting caught up on all things Catholic that are happening in South and Central Texas. And as you know, on this program, we try to bring you a variety of informative discussions highlighting different people, ministries, and events going on in the Archdiocese of San Antonio, as well as the Diocese of Austin. And on today's program, this is going to be a fun and exciting program because on the first segment of our program, the first half of our program, I welcome Lizzy Perales from Catholic Charities. She is the Vice President of Programs. And if you're a veteran out there, you really want to listen closely to this first segment because we're going to talk about the new Veteran Grant Program. And Lizzy, excuse me, my voice is a little hoarse. Thank you for coming on, Lizzy. We're going to come to you in just a bit. But as you know, with my opening, we always start things off in prayer. And So before we begin our conversations, let's make sure that we are praying for all the right things, praying for your family, praying for Archbishop Gustavo, Bishop Gary Yannick, Bishop Michael Boulette, and of course, everybody, including our priests, our deacons, our seminarians, and our nuns, and our religious, and of course, our first responders, and always pray for our country. We appreciate that, but if we can, let's start with prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. And this is going to be a memorare to St. Joseph because we got a lot of work to do. Remember, O most chaste spouse of the Virgin Mary, that never was it known that anyone who implored your help and sought your intercession was left unassisted. Full of confidence in your power, I fly unto you and beg your protection. Despise not, O guardian of the Redeemer, my humble supplication, but in your bounty hear and answer me. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. And just like that, we are on our way. And want to recap, everything that's going on, everything that has been going on, and things that are coming up. There's so much coming up. And, we just ended car raffle. Actually, it ends today at midnight. Your last day to purchase is today. That's why this show, on the second half, we're going to open our lines here in San Antonio at the studio here, and Mario and Sean and Kimberly, they're going to take your call for your last minute purchase of your ticket, your car raffle ticket. I want to thank Notre Dame Catholic Church, Father Duda, because I was out there this weekend selling raffle tickets in Kerrville, and I love our 97.9 KYRT listeners out in Kerrville. They are the best, and I'll tell you, they answered the call, purchased a lot of tickets this past weekend. Beautiful, beautiful church out there. If you're ever in Kerrville and can attend a service there, it is absolutely incredible. Father Duda does a great job out there. So thank you very much, Kerrville, for answering the call. And if you missed me out there this weekend, all you got to do while I'm talking, I'm going to give that hotline number out. While I'm talking, you could always text the word raffle, RAFFLE, to 345-345. Text the word raffle to 345-345 anytime, all day today, because you're going to get a link. That link will take you to the purchase page. You can buy your ticket or tickets for a chance to win that beautiful 2025 Mercedes-Benz GLB 250 in polar white. And I want to give the number out because there's some of you who are at home listening at your office listening. If you want to call in, the lines are open. That number is 888-880-8563. 888-880-8563. And you're going to have either Mario or Sean or Kimberly answer your call. And we do take credit cards. You can pay on a credit card check, but you do want to call that number, 888-880-8563. And as far as things that are coming up, so I covered, Kerrville and our wonderful volunteers out there that are selling tickets or bringing them in, because I've got to ship all those tickets out to Midland by tomorrow. I got to ship them out because this Friday, you want to listen at 7 a.m., Morning Joy with Keith Downing. You want to listen to that program, be listening at 7, because at about 7:15, they're going to pull that ticket. And boy, is it going to be exciting. And I'll tell you what, when we find out who that winner is, it's going to be incredible. And, hopefully it comes from South and Central Texas, just like it did last year. But again, car raffle is, this is our last day. Last push. We want to finish strong. We want to thank everybody out there that has purchased tickets through our parasails. It's been 7 weeks straight of weekend parasails, and I'll tell you what, I've had the privilege of being out there selling tickets, meeting people, going to mass at different parishes, and it's been wonderful. And I thank everybody out there, all the priests and pastors that have allowed us to go in and sell tickets. So again, last day, call that number, 880-8563. Other things that are coming up that you want to think about, there is so much happening here at the Guadalupe Radio Network. Of course, we've got our 2025 Fishers of Men Dinner, and it feels like it's just right around the corner. It is April 10th. It's going to be at Holy Trinity. It's our 18th annual. And if you went last year, the year before, or 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we want you back. So to purchase, just go to grnonline.com and click on the events tab. There you'll see 2025 South and Central TX Fishers of Men Dinner, and you can buy your ticket or tickets, or you can be a sponsor. You can sponsor a table. So if you've sponsored out there, now's the time to let's start getting those tables sold. 50 tables is the goal. Just like today, 50 tickets is the goal for car raffle. 50. It's going to be big. And, of course, don't forget our GRN 25th anniversary celebration. That's coming up. That'll be on July 19th. You want to register. It's free, but it's going to be in Plano, Texas at the Plano Event Center, which is going to be a fantastic event. So if you can, go in and go to grnonline.com/anniversary, and you can register there. We look forward to seeing you there, and hopefully we're going to sell that place out. So just like we want to sell out Fishers of Men, make sure you go in there and register. And lastly, men, don't forget, Catholic Men's Conference by Pilgrim Center of Hope is this weekend. You can register at cmcsanantonio.com. It's that simple, cmcsanantonio.com, and that stands for Catholic Men's Conference, sanantonio.com. And I know they will appreciate you guys getting signed up. It's going to be a great event, and I know that they are looking forward to it. It's at Holy Trinity Banquet Hall, exactly the place that we're going to have our Fishers of Men dinner over on Hebner Road. So do sign up for that, guys, Catholic Men's Conference, and you will not be disappointed. It's this Saturday, February 22nd, and so want to make sure we get the most men that we can out there. It's going to be a beautiful day. So with that said, that's my intro. And again, we're selling tickets all throughout this hour and all throughout the day. Midnight is the last hour to purchase tickets. So I don't want to be here till midnight, but want to make sure we get plenty of calls. 888-880-8563. Hopefully, Lizzy will start to hear the lines light up and people will be calling in. Or you could text the word raffle to 345-345. Okay, with that said, the setup is there. And Lizzy, Perales, thank you very much for coming in. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Gordy. I'm good, and I'm happy to be here and hear about all the great work done in the Archdiocese and share a little bit about Catholic Charities.
Yeah, let's start off with that. What you do, what Catholic Charities is about before we start talking about your new veteran grant program.
Well, we are the social services arm of the Archdiocese. We have over 50 different programs to serve the community.
You're busy.
Very busy. And we do serve not just Bexar County, but all the counties of the Archdiocese. Like you had shared, you were out in Uvalde. We were out in Del Rio last week. We opened an office there as well. So we're here to serve and try to respond to all the diverse needs. And we serve all people, not just Catholics,
Right.
anyone in need, from birth to natural death. So, and everything in between.
I love it. And, Antonio's a good friend of mine. I'm sure he's listening right now. Being the CEO of Catholic Charities, that's a big job. And y'all are right under the Archdiocese. You report to the Archdiocese of San Antonio.
Yes. So we're a 501c3 nonprofit, but we're affiliated with the Archdiocese. And of course, Archbishop and the bishops are heavily involved and part of our board of trustees and provide leadership and guidance to ensure that we are living God's work and the Catholic faith being universal to serve all people. I
know y'all do a great job with, khaki and plaid and the St. Nick ball and all. I got to go to the St. Nick last year. It was a great event. And, you guys put a lot of work into that, just like you do with all of your programs. You put tons of work behind them.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for going and supporting us.
Absolutely. So let's talk about, we have so many veterans in San Antonio. This is Military City, USA. And so I know there's a lot of veterans out there. And if you're listening and you're married to a veteran or you've got a veteran in your family, the information we're about to give is pretty important, right?
Yes.
And it's called the New Veteran Grant Program. So tell me what the Veteran Grant Program, it's actually the Veteran and Family Relief Program, right?
Yes, sir.
What is that about?
So our Veteran and Family Relief Program, it's actually something we had several years ago, but we were able to increase it again and grow it through a grant we received from the Texas Veterans Commission. But basically the program, like many of our programs, is a case management program, but also providing emergency financial support to veterans and their family members. And so what we do is we can assist somebody with rental assistance, utility assistance, or transportation assistance if they're in a financial crisis. So they could be possibly behind on their rent or have an eviction notice or a late utility bill or water bill. And we can actually provide assistance directly to the vendor to ensure that their lights don't get cut off or their water doesn't get cut off and keep them in their household. So in addition to that, that's not the only thing we do. We can connect them to over 50 different services we have in Catholic Charities. So whether that's they need food or clothing, or they may need help with their income tax, because we also provide that for free for anyone that makes under $65,000 a year. We can file their taxes for them, connect them with counseling services, whatever they may need. When they come in for our services, they can also get connected with those other resources.
And so, there's veterans out there listening, families of veterans. Who does the program benefit besides the veteran?
So we can serve any veteran with any type of discharge status except for dishonorable. So as long as they meet any of those other statuses, they're eligible. We can also help surviving spouses of a veteran. So if they were married to a veteran and were married at the time of the veteran's death, we can also provide them the financial assistance. And and it benefits the whole family. So if they live caring for grandchildren, or they may be taking care of a loved one, we can help. Of course, the services provide the whole household support. So to receive other services we have, they don't have to be a veteran. We can help anyone with food or clothing. We have other funding that help people that are just general community members, not just veterans. So by coming through our doors, we can connect their whole family with all these different types of resources. And you mentioned all the services that are provided. There's a lot of services. I didn't know income tax service was available as well. That's pretty cool. But so it's a veteran, their family, if they're now deceased and their family is, still here, maybe going through some hardships. How does that family or how does that veteran get in touch with the program? Where do they go? What do they need to fill out? Yeah, that's a great question. So there's a lot of ways to get connected. So they can call us first, 210-226-6178. And our receptionist will ask, are you a veteran? If they are, they'll be immediately transferred over to our staff so that they can talk to them about the need, tell them about what documents they need to provide us in order to make an appointment. with them. They can also come in person to our community center. It's called Guadalupe Community Center. That's at 1801 West Cesar Chavez Boulevard, 78207. And they can come as well and inquire in person, and we can, give them kind of a listing of what are the different documents they need in order to qualify, and then we can make them an appointment for that help. We will not turn anyone away. Our goal is to serve 175 folks by the end of June to complete our grant, and we're projecting about 350 people within those households that live with the veterans. So again, we can serve. So it's a high number. So
that is,
when you said earlier 50, your goal is 50. That's my goal. I'm like, you need 50 raffle tickets. I need to help 50 men or lady a month so that we can serve these veterans.
And then imagine the family that goes behind those veterans,
Yes.
So if it's a male or female veteran and they've got a family of 5 or a family of 10 and they're having a hard time right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they want to see something online, if they want to, a lot of people have access to their phones and have access to computers. Where do they go to find information online?
Yeah, so they can go on our website, which is www.ccaosa.org. And if you hit programs, there should be a drop down and they can click right on that veteran and family relief program. And then another way to get connected, if the phone lines are, too much or they don't want to call in, they can actually send us an email. We have a dedicated email inbox for vets. So if they email us, it's going to be veteran-referral@ccaosa.org. So if they email that inbox, someone will reach out to them right away to screen them and then make an appointment so that we can try to provide that assistance.
Say that again, the email?
Sure. It's veteran-referral@ccaosa.org. And we monitor that, 24/7. So.
Wow. So that there are many ways for veterans to get help. There are many ways where, if you're a family member of a veteran who's now deceased, that you can get help. And, I think this is a great program. I think it's, being in San Antonio and South and Central Texas, we have a lot of veterans out there. And so, you mentioned the types of services, that are out there. And so how can somebody, once they get in touch, they go through the process, how does the help come? What form of help comes back to them?
Yeah. So usually what happens is they'll come in to meet with our case manager. We'll make copies of all their documents. There's some different forms that they'll sign and fill out with us. And again, trying to assess their needs so that we can refer them out for other resources. Additionally, if they're getting rental assistance, there's some documentation their landlord will have to fill out.
Okay.
So usually that's the second step in the process. After they leave our office, they'll have to go get those documents signed by their landlord. Once we get all the documents in and all the paperwork together, once it gets approved, we request a check in our accounting system. And then we usually will hand deliver that check to the landlord or mail it to the vendor. So that assistance gets provided. Of course, we'll call the client and let them know, hey, your check just got approved. We're delivering it today to your landlord. And that's really important for us because we have to make sure those checks get cleared and clear our bank account so that we can report our outcomes to our funder. So it's a long process, but it's very important. So
and it's very worth it. I mean, helping our veterans, helping those that served our country, it should be first and foremost. So how did this program come about? Have y'all done this program before? And, basically give me the process, the timeline of how this all came about.
Yeah. So I've been with Catholic Charities since 2013. And back during that time period, we actually, in 2011, 2012, had the funding from the Texas Veterans Commission. And then during my tenure there, we did reapply for the grant. We had it back in 2017, 2018, and 2019. But then again, with COVID and everything that happened, we kind of had a gap between, having funds for that program. Of course, we're still serving veterans through all of our other programs because we have our food pantry and our clothing closet. So, again, we serve everyone, but we're happy that we were able to get this funding back to specifically help more veterans. Aside from just all the day-to-day services we're already providing to the community. So it was very exciting, and we just want to be successful and reach as many folks. And again, like you mentioned, I want to make sure people know that we don't just serve Bexar County. So if you're listening and you're out there in, Uvalde or Floresville or any of those 18 counties that we have as part of our archdiocese, that they can call in and we can also assist in some of those rural areas as well.
So y'all are not just Bexar County, you're Atascosa, you're Kendall,
Correct.
I mean, like we span, this is going out to, Uvalde, Kerrville, Marble Falls, Fredericksburg, and of course San Antonio. But tell me about, this, there's also a Texas Veterans Commission website.
Yes.
That people can get, our veterans can get information from, and that's www.tvc, Tom Victor Cat, .texas.gov. They can go there to get information, or they can go into your website, ccaosa.org.
Right. So. And that's a great thing to point out, too, because if there are other organizations that also get the TVC funding through the Texas Veterans Commission, and their website's great because you can go on there and look up, like if you're needing some other type of service, maybe that Catholic Charities doesn't provide, maybe something specialized or something, because they have other programs like home repairs for vets and other things like that, that they can get connected with. So they can also go on that website, and then their website will direct to us if it's a financial matter. So.
And you've got a nice flyer on your Catholic Charities website, and it says Veteran and Family Relief Program serving veterans, active duty, National Guard, reservists, and surviving spouses.
Yes.
You should get a lot of action out of this, and I hope you do, because that means we're out there helping our veterans.
Right.
And putting money where we should be putting it. For those that are struggling, having a hard time paying their rent, paying their utilities, it's good to know that there is a service that Catholic Charities is providing to do just that, because our veterans are they're in our hearts, and a lot of them have passed, but their families are still here, and could be having a hard time.
Exactly. And it's very, we see that it's a very difficult time for people financially with, the economy, and especially for some of our older adults, like people who are retired, that they're on a limited income. Right. And it could be something that simple where, they had a water leak and their water bill just all of a sudden is very high and they just can't make those ends meet. And that's what we're here for, to fill in those gaps. So we want to make sure that people know is like, it's not something to be ashamed of. If all of us run into financial needs from time to time, whether it's because of a home repair or something that happens. And so we want to make sure that the veterans know, hey, we're there to help. If they need help with their water bill or their electric bill, they may own their home. They don't need help with rent, but they have other needs. And that's what we want to make sure that people are hearing about this service, because it's very much needed, and we want to be able to help.
So you help with the rents, right? If they're renting their home, what if they own their home? How does that work? Because maybe they're behind on their mortgage.
Right. So we don't help with mortgage, but there may be, again, other agencies that are doing mortgage assistance.
Right.
But again, if they're, maybe they're behind on the mortgage, but if we can pay their water or electric bill, that's more money they have base. And that's what we also talk about is self-sufficiency case management. So helping them understand their budget. We'll go through their budget with them. Right. If we're helping with offset one bill, that can put more money back into their monthly budget so that they can catch up on some of their other bills. So we do, when they come in, it's not just we're providing assistance, we're teaching them. Right. We're trying to meet them where they're at to find out, what are their other needs? Do they need budgeting resources or classes, or is it, do they need help with finding a job? So many different things. So it's very, comprehensive, and we try to help them with their goals or other needs that they have.
Yeah, and I'm looking on your flyers wall, and I think it's important to point out the required documentation. That DD 214, picture ID. Maybe a birth certificate for all your children in the household. So you want to make sure, if you're a veteran out there or a spouse of a veteran, you want to make sure you get all your documentations in a row, prior to going in, right?
Yeah. And if they call us or email us, we'll make sure to tell them exactly what they need, because again, if they come prepared with all those items, it makes it much easier for us to quickly provide the check and get that process approved. So we try to educate them. That's why it's on the flyer. That's why we tell them over the phone or by email what they need to have. Because, we want to be a good steward of their time as well. So.
And so, in the past, how has, and I hear the phones ringing for
All
our
right.
car raffle sale. So that's good. That's a good sign. So in the past, I mean, you said your goal is how many?
So our goal for the whole grant period is to serve 175 veterans or surviving spouse or National Guard reservists, active duty folks.
Right.
So that's our primary. And then we anticipated that within those 175, we'd be also supporting an additional 350 people that may be residing in their home or a dependent to the veterans.
Lizzy, I want to make sure everybody knows this prior to, our segment ending here. It's 25 after the hour, but I'm talking to Lizzy Perales. She's the VP of Programs over at Catholic Charities, and she's on today to talk about this Veteran and Family Relief Program. So if you're a veteran out there, or you're the spouse of a veteran, you're listening, or you know a veteran in your family that could use the help, we'd like you to direct them. There's a number of ways to do this. You can, call the number 210-226-6178. That's the veteran hotline. Or you could physically go to the Guadalupe Community Center at 1801 West Cesar Chavez Boulevard. That's another route. Or you can email, if you want to write this down, it's a veteran-referral. Referral has 2 R's. Remember that, REFERRAL, at ccaosa.org. That's veteran-referral at ccaosa.org. I think it's so important that we give that information out. And I think we're going to put together something here at Guadalupe Radio to help, build awareness about the program. So
wonderful.
I think that's going to be another, we'll make sure our listeners out there know about the Veteran Relief Program. I think this is a beautiful program that, providing assistance for, veterans, surviving spouses. I mean, I think that is so important. So if you're a surviving spouse out there and you need some help, you need some support, there is help and support, and it comes by way of Catholic Charities in their new Veteran and Family Relief Program. So Lizzy, I'm so glad you came on the program to talk about this, and I know it's going to help a lot of people out there, especially being here in South and Central Texas. And hopefully you hit that goal and maybe go over that goal.
I hope so. Yeah.
yeah. We want numbers, right? We want to help. We want to make sure we're providing that help. Anything else you'd like to tell, our veterans or surviving spouses out there? Just call the number, huh?
Just call us or come see us, and we'll try to help you as best we can. If we can't help you, we'll try to find someone else that could.
They will find a way. Lizzy Perales, VP of Programs, Catholic Charities. And thank you for coming on, and we'll continue giving that number out for you, Lizzy.
Thank you. Please do pass it along, and everyone listening, please share it. We want to make sure we help meet the needs.
You got it. Well, listeners, hang tight. We'll be right back. Our annual